about marriages. We want to fix the country when it comes to those things so that you won't be dying and suffering in silence, right? And to help us do that, as always, is our love coach, Pastor Simba Holoza. He is a founder and programs coordinator of Strong Bonds Marriage Africa, author of a book titled The Marriage Handbook, and also pastor at Praise City Church. Pastor Simba, good morning.
Good morning, Vic, and how are you?
I am good. Kurisei Kumba.
Kumba kuchiribo.
Wonderful. So we're also live, by the way, on the Stephen Facebook page, so you can go check it out. We're talking about cheating, Nasi. Mawaya ne message, Pastor Simba, cheating. And that's quite a full stop. The benefits.
Yes. Yeah.
Lewara bongo vunza. Mamati. The benefits. Ninondu kutovunzao. Cheating, the benefits. Ayo, talk to us.
Okay. Yeah, I came up with this topic weekend in Dawana. This has become a pandemic, and almost everyone, not everyone though, but a greater percentage, I think, Wanashinji, varukupinda into this adultery, cheating, and all that. If you throw a stone in Harare now, randomly, you are likely to hit someone who has cheated on their spouse before. That's how bad the situation has become. You're likely to hit a cheater. Definitely. Even more in this room. Power forward. I think 3. Second didn't really clean.
Oh my goodness. So okay, we will give it to you. It's all right.
So I then said, okay, let me do a research. My benefits. Maybe I'm left out. People are benefiting from this pandemic, from this enterprise, this new latest enterprise, Yegu Cheetah. So I did some research. If you look at me today, Maswanga read Gutsuk.
From researching?
Yeah, I say high grade. Good researcher, usiku chirarachi researcher. Kona guti, is this, what is happening? I say high grade. Yeah, kona guti, what really is happening out there? Why are people cheating? Benefits here. So definitely, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they are there. Planning stage.
It's not even a lie. Plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you sit down with that person and convince out, I have no other option but to do it because this is what I'm going through. So they are about to make a decision. Panic message katopinda izvozvo pafoni mumunhu, and they are carefully constructing a response kuti vachitopinda mugame racho. Feeling like cheating, kungonzwa kuda kuti amisikanzwa. Vatori vanhu vakadaro weekend. Zvikutoitika izvozvo. After doing the research, I'm sad to announce that I found no benefits. Sadly. Sorry to disappoint a lot of people, but there are no benefits really. There are no benefits. But so it's very important for us to look at the other side, the consequences, because hamuna ma benefits. Obviously, there are bad things, I like Luke chapter number 14 verse 28. I'm going to start with the scripture today. Luke 14 verse 28, and it says that, for which of you wanting to build a tower doesn't first sit down and calculate the cost? So now we can calculate a cost, not a myths. Don't calculate a cost, and you kupinda mu enterprise nonzi cheating.
Cost benefit analysis.
Yes, we need to do that.
It's important.
So it says that, for which of you wanting to build a tower does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if he has enough to complete it. Otherwise, after he has laid the foundation and cannot finish it, all the onlookers will begin to make fun of him, saying, this man started to build and wasn't able to finish. Watanga project, and you fail to complete, or you fail to meet up with the costs that are involved. So Hansi, which one of you wanting to build a tower? So I want to pose the same question, Kwatiri, as people that are in relationships, people that relate with people out there. Kuti, which one of you wanting to start another relationship will not sit down and calculate the costs? The most dangerous thing that people do is that they get into things without calculating the cost. Okay, what's the cost involved? Every time when a deal is presented before you, what's the hidden cost iripo zvimwe zvonzi ndezvefree kana ndezvechi, but there's nothing for free under the sun. We all know that there's always something, there's a cost that's behind whatever is being presented to you.
munada kuzotanga kufunga zvecost talabata kuti muri kutichita, then munhu wada kutanga kukuzhamba asina calculator before. So I think it's so important. Sure, Pastor Simba
akunyepera kuzungaira ari mukona achita kunge anga akarohwa necheusiku. But clearly you had time to think about it. Yes. Because weekend cheating is not a mistake.
It's not.
It's a choice. You plan, you execute. Zvakanaka. You know, we have good planners out there. Ukanzwa nyaya dzecheating dzechitika ka unonyatsona kuti munyika muno mune vanhu vari gifted in terms of mental capacity chayo kuti they can plan and execute a plan iyoyoyo zvine ma-results yacho unyatsoona kuti ya nyika ine vanhu vari gifted.
And a Jack Bauer, it's a calculator. Precept upon precept, line upon line. And yeah.
Exactly. So with cheating weekend, there's a price to pay. Extramarital affairs come with a huge cost. Just see, to 2 cents, a huge cost. And I'm not just talking financially, but I'm also talking about other issues, be it emotional cost to affairs, physical, material cost. You know, you can actually lose or you can tamper with your children's inheritance because of just 8 seconds of being funny and not calculating the cost. So it's just really very important for people to consider that before. Because I'm saying this to someone, Vikendi, a auto planner, someone who's about to, Kuti Shamari, this is your last warning before you get into that. There are no benefits at all, but instead there are consequences. And there's a huge cost, there's a huge price to pay. Calculate the cost. So I'm going to look at about 9 or so, maybe 11, up to 11, depending on our time, the costs of getting into an affair. So number one, when you get into an affair, when you cheat on your partner, number one, you become a liar. Not only are you going to carry the name of you are a cheater, that alone is bad. But on top of that, you are also labeled liar. Amai we. I was about trust kwe weekend. Chero kada kudza munhu chokwadi chacha hapana nombokubeliever because wakambonyepa. Because you once cheated on them. So hapana notombokuteerera. Ukangondura kuenda kumashops kunotsvaga chingwa. Hapana nokutrust kuti kuenda kumashops kunotsvaga chingwa. Unotonzi enda naningi, enda nemwana, kana kuti saenda better ende inini. Because no one can trust you. If you are a cheater, you risk getting the label because you are a liar. Apana no believer. Apana. Then number 2. This one, a lot of people don't know about it, but this is the truth. You will be caught. Because one thing that I've noticed is that Weekend, I'm an affairs recovery specialist. You know, and I've realized that because we've got 2 people, the faithful and the unfaithful. I don't the unfaithful ndiye akaita msikanzwa ndiye akachita, and the faithful ndiye akaitirwa zvese izvozvo. And I've realized that when cheating happens, the faithful overnight becomes a detective.
Yeah.
We mhando yepamusoro
unenge uchidzifambira nyaya dzachona kwete zvekutamba,
anodzifambira kusvika kwadzinoperera. You know, those people can actually investigate, they can dig deeper. They can collect evidence, they can gather evidence zvinoshamisa masi idea kupesera. Because they've been put in a situation where they are left with no option but to dig and dig and dig until they get the truth. Like I always say, Weekend, it's important kuti kana munhu abatwa achita nyaya dzake dzechitinga, you better surrender quickly. Wotoudza munhu nyaya yako, because akubata kuti ndiye mupurisa akubataka, kutomudza nyaya yako yese. Because if you don't do that, vakazokubata ivo manje, panozita problem. Panozwanzo munhu akarohwa because aitwa zvokubatwa. But it's important for you to volunteer information before your person begins to investigate and to look for information. So most people believe that I will cheat and I will not be caught. But to tell you the truth, unotobatwa cheat.
Kana usati wabatwa wakatera uchabatwa chete.
Pane wakatobatwa nezuro ufunge. Pane mwana utobatwa izvozvo as I'm speaking.
Pane achabatwa later manheru nasi.
Nyaya yako inotozobuda mu-H metro, mbepa redu re-H metro inotozobuda ufungako. Because sometimes you think kuti vanobuda vakapusa kana kuti hameno zvavakaita, but hapana akamboplana kubuda achitaurwa zvinhu zvese izvozvo. So unotobatwa chete. There's a Chinese proverb yandinofarira inoti, if you don't want anyone to know it, don't do it. zvausingadi kuti zvizikanwe zvibude pachena izvozvo, just don't do it. It's as simple as that. You may try to do zvimwe zvinhu to cover up or to pay or to do what, zvinozongobuda chete. Vacho vanobuda unofanira vagona kubhadhara here, unotongobatwa chete.
Pastor hanzi amunyepi sure, hanzi ndakatozoita doctor futi ndichitesta heart rate yemunhu kana apinda mumba, cause kana ichirovesa pane kwaanenge abva. You see now.
Yes, zviri kofunga hako munhu andota doctor oita zvese kuti amupurisa kuita doctor, and that's a good one. Then number 3, you disappoint everyone. Pazvinobatwa, you are going to disappoint everyone. We are talking of nyaya yekucalculate the cost weekend. Kuti okay, what's the cost? Ndingada zvangu kunakidzwa 8 seconds nemunhu wandaona handiti, but what is the cost? Thirdly, you disappoint everyone. When I say everyone, I mean everyone. There is your spouse there, ucha disappoint mumwe wako, your friends, people that looked up to you, your friends, magenga ako checha, you disappoint them, your co-workers, even your God, mwari wako checha, is going to be disappointed in you, your parents. Just imagine zvabatwa nema parents ako. Just imagine your father-in-law, your mother-in-law knowing kuti ndizvaungochita. So you need to calculate the cost. Even your pastor anobvatozviziva zvaitika izvozvo, uchapamira sei papresident worship musesandi.
Pane message ye disappointment. You answer, it's true, my husband cheated on me and I'm heartbroken. That was the least I expected from him. Apo, wait for it, Pastor Simba. Ends up on the elder ku church.
You see, you know, the whole world crumbles on you because a lot of people were expecting, you know, you to deliver maybe some service ku church koko or whatever. You have disappointed everyone, even including your children. Weekend kungofunga kuti mwana wanga akazviziva ndizvandaita anondiona nemaso api. So we need to calculate the cost. Good, what will my children see in me? Is also very important. Then number 4, you will be a bad example. So munwese, you're either a good example or a bad example. So the moment you cheat, you then cross over to the other side. Why a bad example? Kana unawa kudya sadza vanenge vaitotaura nezita rako. Kuti makambona zvakaita baba vaya kana kuti amai vaya. So you become a bad example, and paunongochifamba mastreets you feel like everyone knows about your case. Zvawakaita zvese, you feel kuti you're naked and everyone knows what you did. You feel like everyone is saying, I know what you did last summer. So it's very important for you to calculate that cost and notice it. Kuti, sure, I will lose all this. Then number 5, you will lose your moral authority. Hauchakwanisa kutaura pane vamwe, wakunyarara because nenyaya yako. Comment.
You're not an authoritative voice panyaya dzemorality. Unonyarara panotaura vamwe.
Kunenge kwakunzi kutonodzwa kwachauruka. Unenge kwakatonodzwa weekend hausina chauchataura. You know, people don't listen to you, or they don't give value to what you're saying. Watonyaradzwa. You know, cheating is the quickest way of making sure that you lose your voice. We all want to have a voice. We all want to speak, and we all want to influence others. But the moment you cheat, you are losing your voice. And that's the fastest way of losing that voice.
Step down and make way for the Moxinator. 3 o'clock AVG on the 3 to 6 Express. If you're just tuning in, Donzi Kandi Magdamini, Tina Pastor Simba Woloza, our love coach. It is relationship goals. We're talking about cheating, the benefits. We're also live on Facebook. A quick one before you continue, Pastor Simba.
Yes.
And I've cheated while dating and I now want to marry. Should I confess my past sins if I'm a changed person now? I think that's Pastor Simba.
You know, relationships and marriage particularly is premised on the principle of openness.
Yeah, I guess.
So that principle for me, I cannot encourage someone to, you know, to overlook that principle. So you need to open up. Historically, kunyanyisisa. Talk about who you have dated and why zvakaitika izvozvo kwamakaita and all that. It's important. It's important that you do that so that you don't have any skeletons in your cupboards. Because one day my skeletons anozongobuda chete. So you have to
uchingochikira phone, like be free, be free.
And also arikunzwawo chokwadi chacho ngavewo a responsible person, because the truth is not just for everyone. It's for someone who's responsible, who knows what to do with the truth. But without censor truth to hit back at your person, then that's wrong. All right, so let's continue. We're looking at some of the things, the costs to watch out for if one is cheating. Number 6, you create trust issues for your spouse. Kune vanhu vazhinji vanouya, maybe you go to your pastor or to a counselor and you are accusing your spouse kuti haasi kukutrusta, yet haasi kukutrusta nenyaya yekuti iwo wacho you are not trustworthy, because kutrusta munhu kunonetsa. One has to be trustworthy for them to be trusted by their spouse. So it's very important for you to understand that if I'm going to go the cheating way, I risk kuti my spouse achatadza kunditrusta forever. Trust inogona kudzoka, because trust is gained in drops, but it's lost in a gush. With one mistake or one action, one can lose their trust in you.
Got a message here, Pastor Sima, saying my wife cheated on me and I used to look at her as my queen. I never divorced, but I've never looked at her the same. I'm indifferent. I've ceased to invest efforts to check her moves. I'm always asking myself, what's there to lose? Have lost already. Value chayo yokuti mkadzi wangu has been eroded. I no longer value her the same. So matter trust is lost and sometimes you can't regain it.
Exactly. It takes a lot of work now to bring back that trust, but it can be done. A relationship can be repaired and trust can be built back, but it is not easy. Then number 7, you will lose relationships. Ndiri sena ntombo ratotamba newe ndikaza kuti unoita zvekujola izvo zvekupinda I don't want to be associated with you. It's as simple as that, because they say birds of the same feathers flock together. So I don't want to be associated with you. I don't want to tarnish my brand. I don't want to tarnish my integrity.
Or impartation je unopezera wakutowa kuti
unototanga to believe out it's okay for me to do that as well. So it's very important kuti tizvizive izvozvo. Once you do that, you risk losing relationships. Your relationship izvozvo hazvina kunaka. Unoita kunge munhu azvisetera, if you know what I mean. No one wants to play with you.
That's Pastor Sim.
Let's leave it there.
Okay. Moving on swiftly.
Number 8, the grass is not greener on the other side.
What are they doing?
Because it looks like the grass is greener, but it's not like that. The moment you're on the other side, tell you what, the grass is going to turn yellow or it's going to turn brown. Wakutanga futi kudemba kuti mukadzi wangu zvecho wakunyasona zvawaenda nazvo kana kuti murume wawadheta kana wakudheta naye does not come anywhere closer to your husband or to your wife, and you begin to notice the grass is indeed yellow kono kwandiri kwauri kubva kwayo watoona kutori greener. So it's very important for you to sort out your problems nemoyo wako and fix your lawn, fix your garden so that your grass will be green, and stop looking at what is happening on the other side. And it could be that the grass is greener there because someone else is maintaining that grass. It could be clothes, it could be that hairstyle and all that. There could be it's someone who's actually maybe doing that for that person or helping that person to become what they are. So it's very important for you to consider looking at your garden and seeing how you can improve your garden. Then number 9, it will take a while for your partner to heal. Kuna inonzi healing after an affair, that must not be underestimated. And kazhinji kacho, if someone is struggling to heal, they go into depression, they go into what we call PISD, post-infidelity stress disorder, and it can become clinical. So calculate the cost, Mdara. Calculate the cost. Are you able to afford psychologist? Are you able to afford a clinician who's going to help your spouse to heal? Do the maths. Both achapore kana kaenda kwana tete chete. Unogona kumenesa kwana tete, vana tete zokuvapedza, but haapore. Anenge akutoda clinical help. And vanotopinda pama drugs, medication, are you able to afford that? So you must calculate the cost. The number 10, things can get spiritual. Things can get spiritual. Kutadza kubuda mu relationship. Wautinazozvona panapa kuti this is a wrong move that I made, kudana nemunhu, ndasiya munhu wangu ini, ndasiya mudzimai wangu kana murume wangu. Unogona kutadza kubuda mu relationship because of spiritual issues. Because kuna vanhu varubata kunzoko. And vakakubatira mushonga haudzokere kumba kwenyu. Unotopira gotsi kufuratira mhuri yako. So there's a danger there. It is very, very real. Then number 11, the last one, you cannot afford the drama. Imagine kubuda mangwana yo ndio tori pa headline. Kunziningazo dai kubasa kurukuya munhu achiuya achipenga or things like that. Can you afford the drama? Kumaraini kwenyu, can you afford the drama? So make all that calculation and see if you can afford to cheat on your spouse.
Wow.
there are no benefits. Definitely, there are no benefits. There's more to lose. Thank you, Weekend.
In conclusion, and if you have a cheating partner or you're suspecting they're cheating, please watch with them. We're live on Facebook. Pastor Simba, how can people get in touch with you?
Please message me on 0773 000 000. I need your name, your marital status, and your town.
Thank you so much for listening, Zem. Thank you so much for listening. Back with you on Saturday, Star Breakfast, and I'm also back on Sunday, standing in for my boss, Stevie, and of course, Monday's Morning Galaxy will be back. Tomorrow, you'll be with Yvonne Tivachke for Friday's Morning Galaxy. Remember to pray, to keep trusting God, keep believing. Tomorrow belongs to God. I am V Candy. It is 12 midday. Time for Now in Daba.
Now for Zim Papers Radio Broadcasting Division.